Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Associated Guess. I, as always, am your host, Alfie Animus, here at the Bear in Mind channel. And today, we're going to have a little laugh at, at Chinese AI. We'll see. We'll see how that goes, and then we'll get into some new images of season 3 of 5 of the Rings of Power. We'll look into some H1B stuff. If that gets a little boring, then we'll move over to Target's Big Miss. Man, like I don't normally like to agree with things like this. Like the coolest monkey in the jungle was just more than likely a hey kids, go pick which one of these pajamas you like the best. And you know, kids like monkeys, and the black kid picked the monkey one, or it was all that was left, or maybe there was some racism involved. Either way, come on, man. Like, one, I don't know why people get so upset with these things, and two, I don't know why Target put that out at the time. But then I realized after this next one, whoever works there must really hate working there. But anyway, let's get into it.
The robots, they said they were AI. They're not AI. They're remote controlled, which means that someone
Oh,
was
they're
sent
remote
to
control?
prison forever. I don't like China, but they kind of have some guardrails. Sometimes I go, oh, you know, okay, maybe the communists are they're right about that, but two things can be true. They just showcase their unbelievable, like, advanced robotics because they're going to be the next superpower.
Oh,
and
totally,
some people
yeah.
on the right think they should be. This was the World Humanoid Robot Games in Beijing. Check out the references.
It's Beijing.
These are some highlights, the real ones.
I mean, it's like the regular Olympics if you introduce ketamine.
They're gonna overtake us all.
这是第二届人形机器人大赛。哎呦，
Bro. Yo.
Nice slide.
By the way, I love how they added the quiver, which is totally unnecessary.
Angry. Hey, look, it's Rachel Reagan.
It's a toddler throwing a tantrum. It's actually real life.
It's Lindsay Clancy. Oh, medevac. Goodbye.
My vulva. They gave it an end.
Freedom. What the fuck, man?
And then a seizure.
No, it's a myocarditis.
I love how one of the robots is clearly still operational, runs into a wall, and just gives up.
Yeah.
I've lost my will to live.
I mean, I've done that during a couple races.
All my friends and sisters. By the way, if you have kids, they shouldn't be watching today because what's about to come up is something they shouldn't see. This is the thing; they're not quite there yet. Just like humans, I should let you know too. The tranny robots are simply downright dangerous.
You're dangerous. Oh. Holy crap, hold on. Oh man, I don't know what's going on over there. Oh man. Come on, man. What are you doing to me,
That's the
Steven?
last time that he misgendered.
Also, the Chinese just,
It's
not all, but most, they just
It's
lie about everything.
mom.
The robots, they said they were AI, they're not AI, they're remote controlled, which means that someone was sent to prison forever.
Oh yeah, they're done.
With that video. Like, you see that robot run
for gulag is, that's where they are.
yeah, ran face first into the mat, like, oh, so I guess you'll never see your wife again.
Oh no.
Fell on face. You do too.
And the tech also developed some stolen patents, so when people say, oh, you know, we're neck and neck, well, yeah, they steal
Hey,
things
good
and
morning,
then they
Nuka.
lie about things, to be clear. It's just, it's not even close.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's not like this is the best idea, China. You already have an anemic workforce, so replace them all with robots. Okay, let's see how that works out.
Well, they're gonna have the.
I mean, but yeah, but if what they're saying is true and these are just remote controlled robots, I really hope that's not AI. I hope it's just someone on ketamine trying to control these robots with the remote. Because Damn.
And he's build the robots that are going to replace them, so it's like actually a little bit worse.
Yeah.
Like you're building your replacement every single day. Now make sure you go to the factory or we're going to kill your family.
Now build the robot who's going to be building the other robot. So build
Right.
the final replacement for your.
I mean, technically, all humans, especially those that reproduce, are always constantly making their replacements. So that's not exactly the same.
replacement.
And then
I was trying to see it through the eyes of someone who says, "Oh, my dogs are my kids."
Yep. Ah, it's a wonder they killed 400 to 100 million people in the Great Leap Forward. It's almost like they've never gotten it right. Sorry, what I meant to say was, as Hassan Piker calls it, the blueprint.
Oh yes, the blueprint. All right, so that's just a little entertaining. I love to see things like this crash and burn. You'd love to see it. You really do. No, I want. You saw what AI is doing though. Something horrible, or what we use it for on a daily basis. But no, like I love AI. Like I've been using Grok and Chat GPT for a long time. So I said, "Hey, Chat GPT, describe me in its entirety, so that you could pretty much tell someone exactly what we've gone over." What we've done here and all that. And then I did the same thing with Grok, and I told them to also sum up my my X account, and then I sent that to the other one, and it's actually been interesting. How not similar. I did it after I got those two crazy differences between when I said give me a goblin, chaos goblin form. I did it after that, and I actually hadn't got around to testing to see how similar those images are after it. But I don't know. It's interesting. They have been giving me much closer to who I feel I am than before. So, yet still starkly different because again, they are a different AI. But I don't know. I find things like that fascinating. Mostly because I spend most of my life at home. Anyway.
Hey, what's up, guys? For Pierre. So in this video, we're once again returning to The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power, a Prime original that is doing everything it can to disrespect the work of Tolkien.
Like, why would you do this? Like, this is Sauron. Sauron is supposed to be an intimidating force, not some Timu dreamboat.
And as it prepares to go into its third season, we're getting a glimpse at the third season promotional material.
And people are saying, why do you keep saying this show sucks and no one's watching it if it keeps getting renewed for more seasons? That's not how it works with this one. Apparently, this one, they spent... they're putting so much money into it, and they gave them like a 5-year contract that it would literally cost more to get out of than it would to just say, fuck it, maybe someone will watch.
And ladies and gentlemen, just when you thought things couldn't get worse, it goes beyond your imagination with parody level imagery that you just have to see to believe. Now,
this looks like something that Nerdrotic or the Critical Drinker brought about with AI. They're like, hey, let's make advertisement for season 3 that looks like the opposite of fan art AI generated from the previous season.
This has been a disaster since day one. $1 billion investment into 5 seasons of this show is not panning out, but they are pressing forward, and this show is the epitome of the modern audience and the message. Now, here is that promotional pictures that I'm talking about. No words, ladies and gentlemen, but we'll return to this.
I will say this one doesn't look much worse than the Hobbit trilogy, extra dwarves from that, other than the main 3 ones that we were supposed to pay attention to the most. These, on the other hand, Jesus wept, man.
In just a second. Now, for those who are not familiar with the series, The first season was an absolute disaster. It got
Right.
off to a terrible start. They had inexperienced showrunners. There was constant breaking of the source material, very rushed storylines.
Well, and that's the thing. They're trying to say that she's a bitch because she's immature, because while this happened like 1,000 years before the events of Lord of the Rings, they're like, oh, she's young. She's only like 1,500 years old. I don't know if you know, like I understand giving people see characters that live forever or age much slower as that kind of maturity process. Now, while some of them might take a little longer than humans, it would probably be closer to Baby Yoda, where he's pretty much a 50-year-old man inside that baby visage, more so than, you know, I'm 1,000 years old, but for me, that's like I'm 19. Fuck off. Anyway.
Terrible dialogue, and of course, a focus on the modern audience, and it did not pan out well. Now, of course, the critics loved it, giving it an 84% on
Yeah.
Rotten Tomatoes, but the audience score told a different story with a 38%.
Yeah, it sucks. I
What do you do at
actually
this
watched
point if
the
you're
first season and most of the
Prime?
second
Well,
season.
You go for another one. You bring out a second season where we got to see the misunderstood orcs.
Oh my
yes,
God.
the orcs that took
That's pretty much where I stopped watching. I'm not gonna lie. That was just that image. I was like, no, that's got to be parody.
Tolkien described as irredeemably evil. Turns out the showrunners for the show, they knew better. The orcs are just misunderstood. Yeah, they're just misunderstood. They want peace, they love family values, and everyone's just being so cruel to them. Well, as you can see, audiences were not impressed. In fact, the second season saw a 60% decrease in total minutes watched from the first season, which was already a disappointment. Well, guess what? If you're Prime, what do you do now? You commit to 5 seasons. Yep. You
Yep.
double down on your billion-dollar investment
I mean, don't get me wrong. It was pretty much going to be 5 seasons anyway.
on this series. And now we're starting to see some of the promotional materials for that third season.
Yeah, exactly. What's he? Nux Doctrine. What's the other word that he calls it? But yeah, no. Basically, Nux was right. And again, that was season 2. So far this season, it seems like we got mostly a diverse cast of dwarves.
And it is absolutely...
Like this. This is the only set photo, I guess you want to call it, of Rings of Power. It looks like a Saturday Night Live goof on an actual series.
abysmal, ladies and gentlemen. Let me present to you...
And this is what I'm saying. Like you see it a lot in like Star Wars with the Acolyte, where they spent probably $10 to $30 million per episode. I can't remember. I know it's in there somewhere because it's the same for this. But it looks like either a high quality high school or your average college production. Like it's like look at this. Like, not only are they hiring the ugliest people instead of hiring plain Jane people and applying prosthetics, like, I would very much doubt if there's any prosthetics on many of these people. Like, it's silly looking, and the prosthetics that they're applying make them look more like the McPoyles from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, more so than dwarves.
Dwarfs. According to the modern audience, this looks like the album cover of some failed hipster flute band that sold 5 copies. Like, I literally do not know
That's
what
actually
to say
that's a good one.
about this. I thought it
The
was
most
AI,
expensive
but
bad fan fiction.
from
No,
everything
exactly.
we can see, this seems like it is, in fact, official promotional material.
Well, and that's the thing. Like, I really think these days, especially, like, you see it in all kinds of different things. Like, there are people who are really good. Like, I have a friend who, like I said, did hair and makeup on American Horror Story. That show was pretty well done, and she won some awards, along with the rest of her team. But like you see it with like the X-Men Apocalypse movie, to where you see cosplayers who make better costumes that can actually function and you can move in them for that character than the one that we got in the movie. Oscar Isaac reprises the Ivan Ooze character from the Power Rangers movie in the 90s. It's absolutely insane. A lot of this is just, you wonder where the money's going. And to be fair, I'm sure there was some kind of really boring, god-awful party involving a bunch of people who I was just like, I don't want to party with these people, because they seem like the person who would not only record everything that happens that night, but then try to use it against you later, which is why I've never been a fan of the kind of people who either do that, especially when they're around people who use alcohol or drugs as an excuse to act erratically, as opposed to just having fun.
For the Rings of Power. Token is rolling over in his grave. The amount of disrespect they have shown toward...
And hold on real quick. This keeps popping up on my timeline. Colin Moriarty, who used to be seen as a hero amongst a lot of the Gamergate community, because he was one of the few people who kept it real for the most part. And you see this with a few of his co-hosts. I think Chris Raygun still works for the Sacred Symbols podcast. But these guys were great. They were standing against the leftist until Trump's second official presidency. But he says, if you can't afford $80 for GTA 6, then you should get a new hobby. Delusional. And It's a Gundam has basically the entire internet's opinion on this. You either die a hero or you live long enough to become a corporate shill. Basically. Like, it's retarded. Like, look, I understand, as someone who has been gaming since gaming was pretty much a thing. Like, I was literally born the year that Nintendo saved the gaming industry. So I've been doing it forever. I never had Super Nintendo, so I never saw some of the heights that mainstream gaming cartridges or just games in general could cost, outside of, third parties and people reselling. I never had a 3DO or any of those god-awful early disc systems from other people trying to make it big that mostly rich people had. Basically like the laser discs for gaming systems. 3DO, Jaguar, all of these overpriced, underimagined gaming systems. But I do realize that, yes, gaming has had a steady price, and even through inflation, it has maintained its price for its fan base. But that's mostly because like, gaming sales has increased dramatically throughout the decades, and people have found ways to lessen the cost. But I don't know, man. But this still is, especially in a time of economic crisis right now, I think these people are just, they think that most of the people who are complaining are right-wing people, when it's really just gamers in general. Because, like I said, Colin Moriarty and Chris Raygun and a lot of their circle have basically just... Like, have you ever seen, like, someone just accept their death when, like, death is shooting straight at them like a meteor, and they're just like, oh. Well, that's basically it. They've accepted their fate, and they've been absorbed into the mainstream, like most things that people love.
Towards this man's legendary IP is so beyond me. Hollywood will do anything to continue to corrupt and destroy beloved franchises, just like the Orcs would, right? They don't create, they only corrupt and destroy, and that's what Hollywood has done with this IP. And you can see some of the initial reactions. I mean, seriously, what else do you say? I think this says it all right here. You can see more similar reactions, okay? People are just laughing.
Hey, on this 6 things I like, am I just supposed to come up with them, or is this another one that of the ones that has a prompt that I missed? I see you tag me in it, so I want to do it. So, just curious.
At this, like, if this was a parody, it would be understandable. But as official source material. This is insane. How it started versus how it's going.
Yeah, like this is absolutely terrible. And the thing is, when you're casting, you're not just going for acting. You're going for how well you look like you feel you fit in this world. And if you have an actor that you just have to have for this role, they knocked it out of the park, then you do what you have to do to make them look like they fit into this world. It would be like having Tom Cruise in the Lord of the Rings movies, or Jack Black in the Lord of the Rings movies. It wouldn't make any fucking sense. He stands out like a sore thumb, like he did, and someone who looked like Lizzo did in, well, I think it's the Mandalorian show.
Look what Hollywood did to my
Like, what is happening?
boy. Okay, anyone who grew up with Lord of the Rings, look at how this all went down. I mean, how many IPs has this happened to? It's almost something you can't even count. It's actually harder to find IPs that haven't been corrupted like this over the past couple of decades. But of course, this was the original post that started everything. Screen Rant here, who's a very serious account, or at least wants to be taken seriously, they shared this image. They even put their little watermark on there to make sure you know that this is what they probably paid for to share. And things are not going well. In fact, as you can see, the replies have been locked. And despite 250,000 views, only 200 likes.
I'll come up with
and
them?
Just like
Okay.
all these other Hollywood shill accounts, they're hiding all the replies. Yep, anything that even looks like criticism or just indifference, it's getting manually hidden. See people like this. This is a joke. My God, I can't wait for this stuff.
He meant to
Ha,
say
ha, ha,
can't,
ha.
obviously.
What are we doing here? What are we doing here, ladies and gentlemen? For F's sake, dude.
Like, I used to love Screen Rant. They did come up with the pitch meeting, and I think Ryan George is supremely talented in how he does most of those. You can always tell when he's a bit fatigued when he makes one. But again, Screen Rant used to be a YouTube channel that I frequented quite a bit, and then they just got lost in the sauce like most of them did. Hey, good morning, Angie. I admit that in the past I've been nasty. They weren't kidding when they called me. Oh, okay. Poor unfortunate souls. Sorry. Ursula.
People even just posting GIFs of laughing. What's going on here? And you just keep going. Please stop making everything gay and stupid looking.
Yeah.
I'm crying. I mean, these are the things that are apparently too
And this person's Canadian, so you know it's getting bad if they're complaining about it.
far for this Hollywood shill account to bear. But also we had this post that equally went viral with 3 million views, 2,000 likes. Wow,
Screen
really
Rant.
upping the ante. But of course, replies locked as well. And they also started hiding a bunch of replies as well. The chill
And the thing, it says Fellowship of Fans. These people aren't fans of Tolkien. They like it because it's a mainstream IP, and it's one of those things that, oh yeah, I love it. I just wish that this and this and this and this and this and this were all different. Then you don't like it. You would like something like it, but you don't like this because this is what this is.
children don't look like dwarves, though.
Watch Jurassic World from 2015 with my dad. I'll give you the first one. All of the sequels, not so much. I do like seeing dinosaurs, but the last, what was the last one? Dominion or Rebirth or whatever it was called. The main dinosaur, the main nude dinosaur, kind of looked like its mama drank and did a lot of drugs while she was pregnant with it. It looked like you gave a T-Rex an extra set of real arms and then bonked it on the head. I think that was Screen Rant that said that one, but or Pitch Meeting. What the fuck are those pigtails? She looks like as if she they literally brought a cartoon character. No, exactly. It looks like something from Cartoon Network in the early 2000s.
Where is his beard? They have it since birth. They might have
It looks like what's that show with the black kids from Disney Channel? It looks like that was done by the people that did like Dexter's Laboratory.
a copyright issue on their hands because these exact costumes were used in The Burrowers.
Oh my
Whole
God,
show
The
reminds me of
Borrowers.
that movie.
Hold on.
Wacky AF. I love it.
Hold on. I forgot about that movie. Kind of, sort of. I mean, even this looks better. I mean, this definitely does look very cheap. It's a lot of slop from, what, early 2000s, late 90s? But that's what I'm saying. This is an expensive mainstream production. This is. And this is some low budget, like $10 million at most, probably straight to DVD or whatever channel it originated from, movie. Huh?
Why?
Sorry. Don't worry, I'm not watching any other Jurassic World movies after the 2015 one. I still have to watch the original Jurassic Park movies, though. Oh, you haven't seen them yet? I'm such a No. The first one is definitely the best. And it's the closest to the novels that it's based off of. I've actually read those. The second one is crazy different from the second novel. The second novel is kind of boring. It's mostly pseudoscience crap, but there is some story in there. And believe it or not, the bad guy from the last Jurassic World movie is pretty much the bad guy from the second, the Lost World Jurassic Park book novel. The third movie is more or less scenes from the first novel that they didn't use in the first movie. So it's mostly leftover scenes, and they kind of just threw it together last minute, and you can really tell toward the end. But it's still enjoyable. It's when they start using more, like, slightly more bird-looking dinosaur models. Jurassic World was a nice nostalgia bit. It was kind of like The Force Awakens for Star Wars. It was good until you saw what came after, and then you're just like, ugh. Fallen Kingdom is god-awful. There's a scene where the Brachiosaur, you assume from the first movie, that stands up on its hind legs, does that as it's completely enveloped by pyroclastic flow from the volcano erupting, and it feels like the franchise dissolving. And then it ended. Sorry, spoilers, but the way it ended, I was like, okay, this is a setup for a great movie. This could be really good as long as they go all in on it. And then the next movie has nothing to do with dinosaurs even, really. All the dinosaurs you see are mostly in a Now This segment at the very beginning, which I hate that they use Now This for anything. And the movie was mostly about crops and bugs than dinosaurs. And then the last movie I haven't seen yet. I haven't seen the most recent one. I just know that the main one looks like kind of like the troll from the Lord of the Rings. Anyway, continuing.
Why did they hide that?
Sorry, the third movie of Park was bad. It's bad, but it's not as bad as the sequels for World. It's still great to see Sam Neill. He still feels very much like Alan Grant. Téa Leoni is annoying in fucking everything that she does. William H. Macy's in it, and he's always entertaining. But it's not a great movie. It's worth a watch for sure, especially if you just love dinosaurs or Jurassic Park or whatever. But yeah, I heard that The Lost World is the best. It's the most entertaining. It's the most Jeff Goldblum of all the movies. I still think the first one's by far the best, and it keeps closest to the source material. And Steven Spielberg had the most involvement. The second one's very good. Steven Spielberg directed it too, I believe. So it's really, really well done. At least as far as the direction goes, the writing a little less. But Jeff Goldblum gets to Jeff Goldblum the entire time, and it's wonderful. If you like Jeff Goldblum, you'll really enjoy this movie. Yeah. Anyway, wait. Sorry. Slow down. Which Jurassic Park movie has dinosaurs and has a bad ending? Okay. Sorry, we'll go through it one more time, then I'll get back into it. Okay, the first one, the first Jurassic Park movie, awesome. It's basically the best rendition of the novel that it could be. It's great from start to finish. It's horrifying, especially if you don't ever watch the HD version, because you can clearly see that, you know, where the CG ends. Like, don't watch the Blu-ray or whatever. Just watch it on regular DVD or regular digital, not HD if possible, just regular definition. Jurassic Park 2 is really, really good. It's the most Jeff Goldblum of Jeff Goldblum. Really well done as well. People go back and forth arguing whether the first two are good or bad. Or sorry, are better than the other one. The third one, it's really good. It's got Sam Neill, Alan Grant, from the first movie and from 2 movies ago. It's entertaining. The dinosaurs still look pretty good. They didn't use Steven Spielberg's dinosaurs. There's a lot more CG, especially for the larger ones. And the ending's horrible, and Tia Leone's annoying always. But it's an entertaining watch, and it's worth seeing. And I would say it's better. I would say it's better than all the Jurassic World movies except for the first one. Jurassic World's really entertaining. Chris Pratt's gonna Chris Pratt. The plot makes little to no sense, but it's entertaining because Chris Pratt is entertaining. For some reason, the lady outruns a dinosaur in high heels, and the dinosaurs are done really well. Fallen Kingdom sucks. Whichever one comes after that, I think Dominion also sucks. And then the last one I haven't seen yet. But Scarlett Johansson and Mahershala Ali are in it, so they're great actors. So I'll probably watch it eventually. I just haven't seen it yet.
Like, that is the most milquetoast roast I've ever seen, but apparently...
No, they all have dinosaurs. Oh, which one barely has... that's the third Jurassic World movie. Like, there's a lot of dinosaurs in the opening scene. There's like a Now This segment. And then there's like the lady who outran Claire. She outran the T-Rex in high heels. She outruns a velociraptor on rooftops on foot somehow. And other than that, there's pretty much no dinosaurs in the whole movie. No, it makes no sense. And especially the movie before it set up to be this great actual Jurassic World. And then it's just like, ooh, crops and giant bugs. Corporate shills. Anyway, that's enough of Jurassic Park. Sorry.
Apparently they had to go in and manually hide this because they're that sensitive. But, of course, you can hide replies, you can lock the replies, but you can't stop the quotes. And as you can see, dwarves, just as Token envisioned, of course. Here's another one saying, I thought this was AI. Me too. I literally thought there's no way. In fact, you know what? The reason it's not AI is because I don't even think AI could produce something this hilarious. AI actually would probably produce something better than this. But here's another one saying, when you see posts from the subreddit polyamory, understand this is what the people look like. Diabolical, but he's speaking facts, okay? Here's another one saying, this is precisely how I imagine orcs would portray Token's universe. That's right.
That's well done.
They don't create, they simply corrupt and destroy.
The orcs are in the Shire. The orcs are in the Shire. The orcs are in the Shire.
That is exactly what an orc would do to a legendary IP like this. Here's another quote saying, they literally despise the fans. This looks like an SNL skit mocking the source material. Well, the only reason
See, exactly. Whoever said that, the Dank Knight, I'm going to follow you, Dank Knight.
Unintentionally, but it's very funny. But yeah, at this point, it's got to be a just pure hatred of fans. Like, there's no other explanation. Like, there's some money laundering scheme here. There's some shadow government paying for this. Who knows? Like, how are they funding this stuff, and why is it...
Hold on, I'm so sorry. The Dank Knight, my preferred pronouns are bat and man. No DMs. Well, I'm going to give you a follow, sir, because you made me laugh twice.
So openly disrespectful to the source material and the fans. They want to destroy everything you love in the entertainment industry, and they want you to keep paying for it as well. And of course, you see some memes like this. You know he had to do it to him. I mean, it's, guys, I'm seeing double practically right here. Here's another one saying this is supposed to be a dwarf according to Rings of Power. Can the Rings of Power D-Riders under...
Hold on. Well, I'm going to Google one more thing. Kid with the afro from Old School. Movie. Oh my God. From the movie. Damn it, I'm not asking what Old School afros look like. I'm asking for... This is as close as I can find. This dude. To me, this dude looks like this dude. It's awful. But like, no, I hate movies that you can't just Google because it kind of means something else. Like I Googled the kid with the afro from the movie Old School. Normally, if you put it in quotes, they know you're talking about a movie. And then it just gives me a bunch of old school quote unquote afros. Anyway.
Understand why this show is cancer. I mean, yeah, apparently this is a dwarf. He lost his beard. It's gone. Don't know what happened. The modern audience, they want to get diversity, and that includes even with facial hair, right? They want to really...
Looks like girl from Avatar, The Last Airbender, who had a crush on Aang. That's, yo! Yeah, she did. She had that same hair, didn't she?
They mix things up. Here's another quote saying, let me guess, Gerda is really smart and intelligent, who's cool-headed and responsible, and Gamli is the idiot moron who's brash and incompetent and embarrasses the family. I mean, you know, I think he's embarrassing the family just right off the bat here, but yeah, that sounds like a modern audience script right there. Woman, strong, cool-headed, man, dumb, embarrassing, needs saving from the woman. Yep, many such cases.
I'm not gonna lie, this looks like the little Pepsi girl who went on a journey that took her down the same path as Rachel Dolezal, to where she got a tan and a perm and some hair extensions and now lives as a black woman.
Cases in the modern day.
I bet she works on the board for the AACP or NAACP.
Corpse and piss on it. I mean, the amount of disrespect, and to drag this out for so many years. And think about this, guys. This is the 3rd season. They have committed to 5. This is going to be something going on probably for the rest of this decade. We're going to be in 2030, and this thing will probably still be going. Imagine that. And it's going to be many more years of constant disrespect. Another quote saying, budget of $1 billion. By the way,
$1 billion.
This is what you get for $1 billion.
Yep.
And you know what? Besides the goofy casting here, it's just like the outfits and the costume. They're terrible. This looks like a high school production. Like, how do you explain this? Like, there's gotta be someone better in Hollywood at producing costumes. There has to be someone out there better than this. There's just...
This is what a bunch of nepotism does, or letting that one person that may or may not have sucked or your naughty bits have the job. You don't get the best.
Just no way, ladies and gentlemen. But here's another quote saying, I simply do not understand why Hollywood keeps giving control over some of the most important, influential, and beloved material in history to people who hate the material. Unfortunately, that's true in the movie scene, in television, in the gaming industry, pretty much any form of entertainment these days. It's truly terrible. But of course, the critical drinker would weigh in saying, good Lord, how is this show even real? Well, it's real and it's allowed to happen because people keep tuning in and excusing this garbage, including people like this who are not only defending the show but very mad at the critical drinker. This person saying, the quirky dwarven hairdos have been a thing in Tolkien adaptations in the past. The outrage directed towards Gerda and Gimli's look in The Rings of Power is hypocritical, in my opinion, and for the most part, it is not about the styling of the characters. Yeah.
If I can be fair, I didn't like it in The Hobbit either. It was much more subdued in the original Lord of the Rings movie. I think in the Hobbit prequels, the Hobbit trilogy, I don't know. it seemed like a bit much, man. I'm saying, like, I know Vikings and such allegedly had all kinds of beard Bradys and all that, but to me, that just says, "Hey, can I hold this while?" Anyway.
Yeah, the modern discourse with leftists like this is that they pretend to understand the discourse while clearly acting a completely different way just so they can prove a point and own the chuds. And of course, someone is making a comment here in the replies. They say, people thinking that the critical drinker's opinion is to be taken seriously will never stop being funny. Yes, they mock people like the critical drinker, but they praise slop like this.
I got to say, the opinion of someone who has Guy Ladriel as their profile picture, that never stops being funny, I got to say.
The modern audience. Ladies and gentlemen, you're wondering why shows like this keep getting pitched and...
Hold on. Okay, so we got Frogan, Ming, Huey, and
keep getting more seasons. It's people like this who continue to consume the slop. People like this as well, saying, this is exactly how I imagine dwarves when I think of dwarves. This is unironic, by the way.
You've never read the source material, and you do too many drugs. You're a shill. And this is the thing. The left used to be highly against all corporations. Anything that was put forth by rich people. What happened to that? like COVID comes out, and all of a sudden everyone's pro Big Pharma on the left. I'll never understand it. Why? Because Trump he put it out, and then when he got out of office and their side started promoting the same vaccine, the one that they said they would not take under Trump's presidency. And look, this is one of the reasons why I really wish Trump had won the 2020 election. I really do. Because, first of all, they would have blamed all of COVID on him. And secondly, nobody would have been pushing the vaccination as hard. Some might have. It would have been there, but it would have been less because Fauci was still pushing it, and everyone loved Fauci because he was defiant of Trump, quote unquote. Because it was all about me. He had the Candace Owens mentality. But then, like, they'll also support Amazon putting out a really shitty interpretation of Tolkien's work. Well, at least the ones that they could get the rights for. They couldn't get the rights for any of the actual, like The Hobbit, The Lord of the Rings, but they can get a hold of, I can't remember, The Silmarillion.
What do you do with people like this? Like they're too far gone. How do you convince people that what they're looking at is the exact opposite of what they should be saying? Like, it's actually insane. But, of course, people in the replies bring up a very similar situation, but also a funny reminder of one with Snow White. Originally, this image people thought was of these 7 dwarves. And people are like, wow, that's so disrespectful. Only one of the actors is actually a dwarf. But it turns out the reality was actually worse in many ways. Because those were the bandits. But the dwarves ended up being used with CGI. So,
well, and that's the thing. These originally were the replacements for the 7 dwarves. They had them being the 7 magical creatures with one who's actually a dwarf. And there was so much backlash that you took Snow White and the 7 dwarves and made it Snow White and the 7 androgynous things. Like, why most of them look like fucking pirates. But and I don't even know what that is. But
so actually, if this was real, at least one dwarf actor would have gotten a job, but in reality, nobody got to play the dwarves. No dwarf actors got
Yeah.
to represent the 7 dwarfs, and instead,
Which
you
was
had-
even worse in the long run. They decided it was cheaper and quicker to CGI giant nightmare fuel dwarves instead of just hiring some dwarves to play dwarves.
had this Rainbow Brigade over here as the bandits, and then the dwarves were just CGI. I mean, what a disaster. And here's one of these many shill accounts saying, cheeky pic of our dwarven family with a heart. The amount of
This makes sense. The Nazguls, the Nazgals. Yeah, that makes sense. I bet they look like the Nazgul.
bootlicking, corpo slop loving Twitter accounts who just consume and consume no matter what is very palpable, okay? It just feels like you're literally dealing with bots. Like, how are people into this? Everything is subjective. I get it, right? People can like whatever they want in entertainment, but
Yeah, 100%.
seriously, this is the stuff that all these Hollywood shill accounts are so excited to share with you. Stuff like this is just absolutely diabolical. As pointed out here, cosplayers look better than this. Yes, many such cases with Hollywood these days. Cosplayers do better jobs of representing characters on a
Exactly.
shoestring budget,
As my
as opposed to
Apocalypse
Prime
example.
was $1 billion budget. But anyways, just wanted to share that update with the Rings of Power with you guys.
Well, and that's the thing. Like I used to say, because I was a big fan of the Sci-Fi Channel when we finally got it, and low budget concepts and low budget movies. I would always say things, and maybe this is the problem because when people express this need, they phrase it wrong. I always said, "Man, it would be great if this got a big Hollywood budget." But that's not enough because a lot of the smaller productions have people who weren't good enough for the uppers, or in some cases, people who wouldn't kiss the ring. But for the most part, the first one. So now, giving those same people the budgets for a decent concept, it still comes out as a high production value, decent concept, but it's not done to its full potential. Because the people who are doing it are still the same shitty people who were doing it before with the lower budgets. A higher budget doesn't make it look any nicer because the people who know how to make it look crisp and real either aren't working anymore, don't exist, or aren't getting the big budgets that they deserve because it will give them too much power. Spread that power out. That way, no one has any power, really. Oh, anyway, we're gonna skip the boring stuff and we're gonna get into Target's kind of racist.
Target, what the fuck is this?
Anymore. This is one of ththose things. I'm going to, if it seems, just
I do have to say, and you'll see why in a second, I kind of agree with this. I mean, just damn, man. Like, it seems like Target's doing it on purpose. And if they are, my hat's off to you, man. I salute you. But damn, man.
go with me
Shit.
for a second, because once I give you the prestige, the reveal, you'll go, oh, it was worth it. So Target was just, they were caught in a whirlwind on X yesterday when they dropped this, it's like a cryptic post. They Streisand affected themselves, if that's the right way. They wrote, an apology from us. We pulled an offensive Halloween costume that should never have been part of our assortment. It is no longer for sale. As a company, we got this wrong and we are deeply sorry.
And normally seeing that, I would be like, oh, fuck, how bad could it have been? It's silly to even have this conversation. And then I saw it and I was like, God damn.
No, this is especially hurtful for our black guests. So right now I go like, oh, I was thinking like federal body inspector.
Yeah.
Something like that. Like, the gynecologist, like Dr. Goodtime on the name tag. One of those things.
No.
Yeah,
Is it
like
hurtful?
Epstein's massage therapist.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's hurtful for our black guests. I'm like, oh, I'm paying attention now.
Yeah. I was going to be
Removing
like,
the
it's probably not that
costume is an
bad.
important first step, and the company is looking closely at how this happened and what needs to change to ensure This won't happen again. Now, before I reveal the picture, this is actually the latest installment, a new segment that we call The Blacks Are Right.
Target, what the is this?
And I think it's a little black boy in that mother.
Bruh.
I'm not gonna give a child candy if they're dressed like this.
Oh, that was a weird little glitch.
It was married to the montage.
Oh, well, don't do that. So, here is the costume in question from Target. There you go.
What?
Yes. That's
I'll be honest. At first, I didn't understand. I didn't get why this was a problem.
yeah. Well,
But then somebody showed me a picture.
well, the costume was called Minstrel Show. No, it wasn't.
No, it wasn't.
Oh, God.
It wasn't called Minstrel Show, but it is a. I mean, look, it's got the little hats, it's got the gloves, it's got the big giant lips.
Well, see, I'm not a connoisseur of minstrel shows, so I don't know what that
I know.
what that getup looks like, and I was like, I don't get it. And then Lane's like, Are you serious? Look at that. I'm like, Oh,
It's
well.
a lost, some of this lost appreciation. You know, like a good old like.
I know
knitting,
what it is.
Or like a gung fu Chinese tea, which basically just means you put it in a pot and you pour it out, and we're supposed to act like it's really cool. It's one of those things that people don't really do much anymore. But here's how Black Twitter reacted, and I would say rightfully so.
Yeah.
Target, what the is this?
I mean, you know me. I don't normally. I'm just like, come on, man. It's not that deep. But then when you see it next to like the comparison, I'm just like, I mean, kinda, yeah. Oh, all right.
What the is this?
And this is why we boycotted y'all motherfucking asses in the first damn.
I will say she take it too far.
Why would you even have something like this to begin with? And I think it's a little black boy in that motherfucker. Or supposed to be. People never learn. But it don't matter because a bunch of y'all coon ass motherfuckers.
Hold on. Kids glow under black light, circus clown, Halloween costume. and part of me kind of just like, damn, did they not know? But part of me kind of hopes that they did. Like they were just like, is it time yet? Can we start doing this? Let's give it a try, see how people react, and then they put this out and they're just like, oh, nope, give it a couple years, put it away for a bit.
Still gonna go to Target anyway.
Target managed to make trick-or-treating a hate crime. Of course, I'm not gonna give
That's a bit
child
extreme.
candy if they're dressed like this. We gotta go from a boycott to a man.
Y'all got this black kid posing like some Jim Crow, minstrel, blackface type of
And again, man, like just putting it up next to the other ones, I'm just like, yeah, all right. I'll damn, and it is a little black kid.
It really
back
is.
in the day.
Like the latest new post with the Halloween costumes, y'all. What's this? I know that's not what I think it is.
It is.
It is a bit.
Target, I tried to give y'all a chance, but you proved me wrong.
I mean, it's Mr. Popo.
The kids.
Are we going to talk about this right here? About this Target costume?
What is this gay R. Kelly?
I like the tuck bikini,
A
but
Jim
this I
Crow
don't.
costume?
No.
And if I happen to go past there and see a bunch of black people parking their cars walking in a Target, I will be calling you out. Don't get it twisted.
This is like R. Kelly once he gets out of prison.
Because ain't no way in hell that there was functioning brains, involved in this costume. Because ain't no fucking way y'all thought this costume was okay.
Because this is some
I mean, I kind of want to buy one personally, but I'm fucked up.
racist ass shit. And I know fucking well I'm not tripping.
Some things.
I mean, you're tripping a little bit.
That some of the ladies in that video, that you could just take what they're wearing and also make it a racist costume.
Kinda.
Yeah, put a
Sweet
shower
revenge.
cap and a low-cut tank top and some acrylic nails. It's called the neighbor.
For stealing their sheets.
Neighbor.
I get it. I think that there's someone at Target who just slipped this through. Like, you know what? I don't want to work here anymore.
Yeah.
I guarantee you, some guy's like, that is the last straw.
Yeah.
I am posting this right now.
Some
Hell
guy
yeah.
got called to HR. He's like, okay, so Peter, we're just gonna need you to make better choices. All right? Can you promise me that? And he went,
No.
yes.
Next door ninjas.
Website. I will say it's but look, you do have to have a sense of humor about it.
Hey, come on.
It's not even half as distasteful as Walmart's ill-fated John Coffey costume.
What the fuck?
Chairs sold separately.
I'm scared of the dark, boss.
Batteries not included.
Could you take me to the produce aisle, boss? They got a deal on half and half sometime.
I get scared of Black Friday sometimes. Get trampled on.
Sure, a lot of white people in here, boss.
So stupid. I didn't know prices were supposed to be rolled back. Jack the Rabbit says that's a real.
That's Percy.
That's a real thing that just happened at Target, and every now and then you go, okay, you know what? That's one for you.
Do you think they should have called attention to it though? Because I don't think anybody really was paying much attention to this at all.
I know for a fact I didn't. I did not. Most because I don't shop at Target. No one should really shop at Target. It's overpriced bullshit. The only time I've ever gone into a Target was when I was collecting amiibos and they had exclusive ones that you couldn't find anywhere else at the time. If only I'd known, I should have just waited a little bit.
Oh, maybe it would have blown up. But I saw the
risk is if you don't address it and you just pull it quietly and someone catches it.
But they did, I'm sure. But they had 54 million views on that apology post.
Oh yeah, it's definitely worse now.
I looked at the post and I was just like you. I was like, what the hell did they do?
Yeah, you just.
And then somebody showed me that picture and I was like, no, that can't be it. That's like a caricature of what they did. I'm sure they didn't put that.
It should have been a much shorter post. Target's official social post should have just been.
Oh, whoops.
We get it. It's pulled. That's it.
Everybody makes mistakes, right?
Yeah, that's it. Find a fall guy for crying out. This is where you find a patsy. You find a fall guy for the higher ups.
It just says Jerry has been fired.
Yeah, Jerry has been fired. Listen,
Yeah,
there's just a
hire a
picture
guy
of Trudeau
I mean, that would have been
in
a good.
KKK Carl has been let go.
Carl.
You can still get it the spirit of Halloween.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, I guarantee you. Yeah.
Well, somebody's got to buy all the excess inventory. It's going to be in Africa somewhere.
Oh, you're still here.
Jesus, Gerald.
Which is a miracle in the age of Instagram and shorts. I think you have some shorts up there.
All right. Unfortunately, I thought I was gonna have time to do this. I was gonna do this in lieu of the other one, but I'm gonna do one more quick one. This one I might do this for a weekend special, because it deserves to be covered. Rachel Ray Gunn is in the news again. She's got a Netflix documentary. Let me know. I'm pretty sure Netflix loves to loves to flag people's stuff, but I'll figure out a way around it. But at the very least, I'm going to cover this for a weekend special. If y'all want, I'll watch the god-awful Rachel Ray Gunn, the quote-unquote break dancer from the Olympics. But yeah, anyway. But instead of doing that today, I'm going to watch this very dark video about video games.
Doesn't care about all of the criticism they're facing right now for killing off physical games. They have given their critics middle fingers, and they have just said,
middle claws.
It sucks to suck, because they do understand.
Sydney. No, I don't blame you. And she's not even really an Olympian. Like, I heard that all the rumors about her husband's involvement were overblown. But again, I don't know how credible that was, because I heard that they weren't overblown from some pretty decent sources. But yeah, that Rachel Ray Gunn lady doing the kangaroo. She trademarked that image, by the way. Like, she trademarked it. I want to make some images. Like, I want that to be, like, the NBA symbol of the guy dribbling the basketball. I want to make that for breakdancing in the Olympics. Anyway.
And that a lot of people are still going to buy the next PlayStation console and buy the PlayStation 5 exclusive games that are yet to go on the market. And now a PS5 ad is confirming that Saros, Astrobot, Wolverine, and more will never come to PC. I have a few different things to show off, but before I get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, join the community in my live streams, and consider supporting through Patreon or YouTube memberships. Now, everybody deserves as many ways to purchase the games they want to play as possible. By making a game a certain platform exclusive, in this case a PlayStation 5 exclusive, it does make it harder for people to actually consume the content that they want. Not everybody wants to buy a console worth hundreds and hundreds of dollars for maybe a handful of games, especially if you have a PC that can run games way better than the console can. But PlayStation is going through a bit of a shift right now. We know that they are killing off physical media starting in 2028. We know that they are really dropping PC support, and they are just reconfirming that. So it says it's an open secret that PlayStation doesn't plan to put its exclusive single-player games on PC anymore. Now the studio has given its clearest indicator yet that it has left PC ports behind for the most part via its latest ad flaunting games that are only on PS5. And the thing is that it does cost more money to port these games to the PC, and they probably figure, we're not selling millions upon millions of copies per game.
I will say, of the first God of War, maybe Ragnarok, the first Spider-Man game that they put out, Miles Morales was pretty good. Ghost of Tsushima, like, these are all great games, and I bought all of these games on PC, and I already owned them on PlayStation. Why? Because fuck my PlayStation. There's no reason for me to play it, because I usually, if I ever play anything, I usually stream it. That's mostly true. But hold on, let's see. How many copies did Sony sell of its 2018 Spider-Man game on PC? Okay. So it sold 1.5 million units, which isn't a lot. More than $52 million. Okay, so if that's one of its bigger ones. Hold on. What about God of War that came out around the same time? How many did it sell on PC total? Come on. Okay, that one sold 2.5 million copies. So making about $108 million. Yeah. Horizon Zero Dawn, how many copies did it sell on PC? So honestly, it's a lot, but from a brand as big as PlayStation, okay, 3.3 million, even better. How many copies did it sell on PlayStation? It's going to be like, yeah, 21 million copies. So not even close. The thing is, if the games had the same quality as Horizon Zero Dawn, the first God of War of the new series here, Spider-Man, and even Spider-Man Miles Morales, Ghost of Tsushima, if they had the same quality, I may be upset by this. But they don't. So I'm not really. I would still very much like to play them. Matter of fact, I might snag Spider-Man 2 on there before, because I think it's on sale, before it is gone forever from the PC store. But that's mostly because I love Spider-Man. It's got nothing to do with me really liking PlayStation or anything like that, because I don't. Because their first games in all of these series were fantastic. The worst thing about Horizon Zero Dawn was it came out 3 days before Breath of the Wild. So I played the shit out of it for 3 days, and then I tried so hard to come back to it. But, yeah, I just couldn't. I still need to play it, though. I might stream it eventually.
On PC, and so it's more cost efficient to just barrel forward with console exclusives, but you are going to ultimately lose out on sales. It says, though, the new ad reminded the world that upcoming PS5 exclusive Wolverine and Lao Fei won't just be available on PS5 alone when they launch, it will remain that way for a very long time, potentially forever. However, the ad also confirms assumptions that this new anti-PC PlayStation edict was put in place sometime between the releases of Ghost of Yotei and Saros, and I don't think that...
I don't know what this is. I just know that I didn't play this because I was that upset by the fact that you can't play as Jen Sakai, not the MSNBC news person, former press secretary, and person who loves to circle back around to things. I think it's funny that their names are almost the same.
This happened just because of one of these releases. Two very different pictures were painted here. Sorrow sold about 300,000 copies in its first month on the market, whereas Yotei sold about 3.2 million copies. So very different pictures have been painted here. But ultimately, yes, PlayStation is only worried about PlayStation. At this point, they don't give a fuck about PC players and a potential new market that they could be reaching. They only care about making as much money as possible on their platforms, because when a PlayStation game is put onto something like the PC and onto a storefront like Steam, Steam is getting a cut, and they just want the biggest take-in of money possible. They want to make as much money per product sold as possible, and that's why they're just wanting to focus on the PlayStation Store, period. It says that's because both of those more recent PlayStation exclusives have also made it into the ad, confirming that unless there's a big pivot in PlayStation's new strategy, you will need a PS5 if you ever want to play them. And yes, they are trying.
Well, see, and that's the thing. Less and less people want to play PlayStation games because they're starting to suck quite a bit. You're going through the same thing. I really, does it feel to anyone else like like movies really want you to stop watching movies, people who make them, and people who make games really want you to stop playing games, even though it's the source of their lifestyles. They see it as a company, and then they're going to be like, but where's my monies? Should have saved, man.
To force people to buy a console. The base PS5 is expensive, but if you want the PlayStation 5 Pro and you want that external disk drive and you want the special PS5 Pro / Elite controller, right, you're going to be paying $850 to $900 on a complete PlayStation setup, and PlayStation is making most of that money. It says, though, the more surprising inclusions in the new ad were Gran Turismo 7 and Astro Bot, two titles that are neither upcoming releases nor new games that launched within the last 12 months. I think that they are just trying to market their console with as much variety as possible, and, you know, Astro Bot and Gran Turismo are very different. Then you add Saros and Yotei into the mix, and they're trying to show you that, oh look, there's a very balanced lineup for our titles. But the message couldn't be more clear, and that message is that they don't give a fuck about their consumers. They do not give a fuck about their loyal fans, and they do not give a fuck about the overall health of the gaming
Say it
industry.
again, Vera.
And the Gamer isn't going to mention this, the Kotakus, the Polygons, they're not going to mention it, because without the access, they are no longer the media, but this is a blatant anti-consumer move, and of course, this is like the 100th anti-consumer move that Sony has made in 2026 alone, but ultimately, they feel like they can do no wrong, and people are just going to shut up and consume the content that they put out wherever they put it out. And look, I understand there are a lot of people out there who love PlayStation, who love their exclusives, who are just saying, they're video games, it's not that serious, but all of the decisions they are making
It's
can
art.
change the shape of the industry and the space going forward. It's like with Grand Theft Auto.
And they have the rights to a lot of characters that people love, myself included. I think Kratos is a great character. I never played the original 3 for quite a while. The first one I played was on the handheld, and then I went back and played them all. I think there was a collection at some point. So I played those. Or I might have just downloaded them on fucking PlayStation Online. But I don't know. But I played through, well, I played the first one and I played the third one. I don't know why the second one eluded me. I like Kratos. I played through the first one. I haven't played Ragnarok yet. I haven't even finished, honestly, the what are they called? The Valkyrie. I haven't beat the Valkyrie yet, which is why I haven't played Ragnarok yet. And I'll probably have to go through the whole game again. I probably won't stream it because I've tried streaming it once or twice and I suck at it, so I probably won't stream it because that'll be awful for everyone. But I love Spider-Man. I love Wolverine. I want these games to be good so I can play them and enjoy them. However,
6, I know there are some people who are saying, oh, it doesn't really matter that this is just a code in the box and it's not an actual physical game. Of course it matters, because when a Take-Two decides to kill off physical media, everybody else views that as an opportunity to do the same exact thing. Also about raising game prices. Every company now is going to be raising their game prices to $80 for a standard edition. You bet your freaking bottom dollar. And when Sony is sitting here and clearly saying, oh, we don't care about our customers and we are just going to disregard our customers' feedback, then yeah, they are going to just continue to do what they want, and they feel like they are never going to lose our sales. That's why a lot of people right now are boycotting. The PlayStation blackout is underway, and there have been some gamers who have said, I am actually not going to monetarily support them, again, until they apologize or they backtrack. And is PlayStation going to do that? I don't necessarily know, because this is clearly a plan they have had in place for a long time. The same goes for killing off PC ports. They have had this as a plan for a very long time. But
it's not a great plan. It's just not. There are going to be just as... I mean, there are going to be some people who will buy a PlayStation for their few exclusives. However, most people won't, who don't already have... Like, the last PlayStation I had was the PS4 Pro. To me, it was the last one worth buying. I would have bought the 5 if it was cheaper and less ugly. Hideous. Fucking hideous. Just ridiculous looking. And I would have bought the PlayStation 5 Pro if it wasn't so freaking ridiculously expensive. On top of not being... Like, the PlayStation 4 Pro over the PlayStation 4 was a pretty big jump. The PS5 Pro was not that big of a jump from the regular PS5. It just wasn't.
Ultimately, if you feel strongly about something, you need to talk about it, whether that is in a post on X or a video on YouTube or sharing videos and just trying to have your opinion be out in the world and ultimately heard. So, yeah, you are seeing now Sony deciding to kill PC ports. They are trying to force your hand and get you to buy a console for maybe 2 or 3 games that you are interested in, and they are trying to force people into the PlayStation ecosystem. And there are already a lot of gamers who own PlayStation 5s. Totally get that. But ultimately, there were people who would wait the year or 2 years until it went to PC, and that is no longer going to be an option. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video.
And that's the thing. There's not a whole lot of reason to get the PS5, because most of their exclusive games suck donkey balls. It's just a fact. For anyone with any real taste, anyone who doesn't get them just because it's their characters and they struggle and suffer through them just because they love those characters. I used to be that person. A lot of us used to be, because we've never had any real quality games except for really Spider-Man. Batman had some good games. But beyond that, there aren't that many good quality games. There are just games that we were like, it's something. And that's it. But I don't know. I'm gonna give. If I'll say this, I'm gonna get the Switch 2 eventually, just so I can play 2 games. Yes. Well, actually 3 games. I want to play the Donkey Kong one too, but I want a better way to play the games that I already own for the regular Switch, and I want to play the new Star Fox, which I know is just a remaster of Star Fox 64. I want to play the new Zelda, which I know is just a remaster of Ocarina of Time from the same console. I don't care. They're good. And as long as the quality's there, which at least for Star Fox it is, we'll see on Ocarina of Time, more than likely. But, again, we'll see. If the quality's there, then I'll probably get that, especially if they put out a special edition console. Other than that, I'm going to rebuild my PC, probably build a new one. These are within the next year. And, yeah, PlayStation just doesn't fit into that whole design so far. I've got some things that I need to do. I need a little bit more power so I can properly come on here and do my thing. But PlayStation doesn't fit into the equation anywhere. Unless they turn around pretty hard. Spider-Man 3 is going to have to suck a lot less. And if I hear that it's a lot better than 2 was, then I'll probably play through 2 just so I know what the fuck's going on in 3. And hopefully Wolverine's good. We'll see. 3 more weeks until that comes out. And Lao Fei, it's not looking good. Not for me, at least. It's fine. I mean, Zelda, where you actually play as Zelda games, well, the one that I can think of that came out was actually pretty good. A lot of people liked it. Wasn't for me. It was an interesting art style. Not for me. But respect where it's due. It was about time that she had her own game. I did play through the game, the Mario game, where you got to play as Peach. It was entertaining enough. It was kind of weird that you played with your emotions. But anyway, that's going to be all for today, guys. I'm going to get going. I got to get ready for work. But you guys have a fantastic day. And then we'll see